In today's episode, it is my goal to make the absolute biggest robot generator or mining generator here on Skyblock. Not only are they an insane method of income, they're also an insane method of gems, which are used to upgrade almost everything here on the server. So let's get into making the biggest and best one here today. Yes, hello everybody, and welcome back into a brand new episode of Skyblock. Today, of course, we're back here on AkumaMC for another episode in the Skyblock series. Today, I'm here to go ahead and make the biggest mining robot generator here on the server, thanks to over a stack, nearly 2 stacks of mining robot eggs that we have available to us today. Now, as predicted, there was a huge announcement in the AkumaMC Discord, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that quickly before we get into the mining robots. So if you guys don't want to hear about that, then that's fine, you can skip past, but there is a huge announcement. Essentially, ladies and gentlemen, they have been working on Skyblock 2.0, which means that this season of Skyblock is essentially going to be coming to an end this week. So this Saturday, September 23rd at 1 p.m. EST, the Skyblock server is going to be re-released to Skyblock 2.0. Don't worry, you'll keep all your ranks, I believe is what you'll... I don't know if there's anything else that you keep. I'm pretty sure it's your ranks, but obviously all your island progression, anything like that will be reset. And they are going to be showing sneak peeks in the AkumaMC Discord, so you can jump in there if you want to see it. But yes, September 23rd is the date that we will be getting a brand new map here with hopefully a bunch of brand new features, and it's just going to be a good time because if you guys haven't already like started playing the Skyblock season, then this next reset season is going to be your best chance to join and to kind of join on a level playing field and make sure you can kind of compete for that IS top. So yes, that's an absolutely huge announcement and I can't wait for the next season. But today, of course, our main focus is seeing whether we can make the most overpowered mining robot generator available. Now, the one thing that I'm sure of is that we actually do not need really any of the money that goes with the robots. Like, we are not really in need of anything like that. So what I'm thinking of doing today is just completely ignoring the fact of auto sell chests and stuff like that. Although it does make like a good amount of money and you can make like decent money from doing this, we don't particularly need it because like we have 400 billion and the map is resetting. So I figured we'd do this today just to kind of say we've done it, just to say we've gotten ourselves the absolute biggest mining robot generator platform, because I think that'll be really cool. So what my plan is someone has already like partially made this one right here, but I'm going to go ahead and cover this one up because I don't think it's functional. We're going to go ahead and just kind of reset this one that's right here, and then I'm going to build a new one. We're going to use this space right here, but I'm thinking we could probably go, well, obviously we got 64, or we've got pretty much 2 stacks, so we can go pretty much 64 blocks high and then fill up basically both sides. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. We're going to go and mine these or fill these up and get this kind of reset right here, and then we can work on a fresh side. Okay, I think I can see what the other person that made this side potentially did wrong. I think all of these water blocks are source blocks, and that doesn't fly. That creates a big issue. So yeah, that's possibly what went wrong there. I don't really know. I couldn't really tell if these are sources or not, but either way, we're pretty much getting there now to fixing this, so we should be good. So these are already 17 blocks high, so essentially we have to add like a whole other section to this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add another 48, I think, to either side here, and that will kind of do us over a full stack. So this is definitely going to be the tallest one that I've ever seen. I don't know whether it would be the tallest one on the server, because at this point we are like right at the end of the server and people are even just selling stacks of these mining robots now for literally nothing. So if you ever want to experiment on what could be a meta going forward, then this would be the time to do it. So yeah, that's how high I plan on building this thing right now. That should theoretically fit all of the ones that we've got. You can see how much bigger. I think it's probably 3 times bigger than what we already have. So I'm going to get that built up right there, and yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. The one thing I'm not looking forward to is filling the freaking side with lava, because it all has to be source blocks, and if I miss a single one, then it could be catastrophic for it and absolutely ruin it. So I really hope that we don't do that, because that would be a little bit less than ideal, I would say. But I want to make sure it all color matches and everything, so I'm committed to placing all the different color blocks that we need all the way up to the top. So it's gonna, yeah, it's definitely gonna take me a couple of seconds to do all this properly, but we'll make it. We'll make it. Honestly, the one thing that I've just realized is actually going to take us probably the most time out of all of this is going to be placing the robots themselves, because those things aren't exactly the most ideal things to place. They do take a couple of seconds to get the placement down properly, and if I remember rightly, the way that we've had to do it previously is we've had to kind of place a block for them to actually sit on and then mine the block afterwards. So it might take me a little bit longer than a while just to place those down, but it'll be cool once it's done. It's going to be worth the effort. All right, so that should theoretically be this part of it done. Now all we've got to do is actually go ahead and place the water and the lava. Now, the water is pretty easy because from memory, only the top part of it needs to actually be source blocks. So we can go into the miscellaneous shop. We can buy a couple of water buckets. We only need 2 of them, one for either side. We can place one there and one there, and that should do the job. Now, the one thing I cannot remember is, does it need... Okay, no, it doesn't need a hole at the bottom. So actually, is that a block there? I think it is a block there, actually. Okay, this should be good. Should be good right here. This should do the job, I believe. What we might need to do here is actually just make a quick slight adjustment, because I think that this is actually meant to be glass right here. So I don't know what difference it's actually going to make, but I think it might make some. And I believe that those have to be empty also. So let's just do that adjustment real quick. And I'll place these here to block it back up. But I think that is the way it has to be from memory. Now comes the fun part with all the freaking lava. So I'm going to clear up everything else out of my inventory because we don't need any of that anymore, I don't believe, unless I mess it up, which is actually very, very possible. I could definitely mess it up. But we have to make sure every single lava is a source block. So that's the first job. Now, if you guys are planning on making these, then it's important to note that you have to do the lava from down, like from the bottom upwards. So yeah, just remember that when you're doing it, because otherwise it's gonna come back to haunt you. Now, luckily, you can actually buy these. I bought way too many of these buckets, but you can buy them in stacks now. But yes, you have to make sure you hit every single source block, otherwise you will mess it up. So make sure that you're going up just like this. You're making sure you click into each little square, because again, if you miss one, you are going to absolutely ruin it. There's no saying that I haven't absolutely ruined it already. We will only be able to find that information out once I put the mining robots in and they start going to work. So yeah, there's not really any way for us to test it. I guess actually we can manually mine the blocks, because theoretically they should spawn back if I've done it right. So yeah, we could have one big test and it might be one big mess, but we'll have to see. Okay, hopefully if I've done it right, then this should be the final setup for this huge new one right here. It looks exactly the same as this one, so I don't know why it wouldn't be right, but I don't know. I just have that fear that we've done something wrong and it's going to mess everything up. So let's just try by mining one of these. It should theoretically spawn back cobble every time, if not an ore. Hopefully it's going to... Yeah, okay, so it does spawn ores. So this looks to be the exact right setup for everything we need right here. So this, I would say, is our final design. So it's now time for me to go crazy placing these mining robot eggs, because to be quite frank with you, this is going to be the most painful part of all of this, more than anything else. So I think, I'm just trying to think what the easiest way to do it will be. I think we're just going to use glass blocks to do it, because I don't know, it just seems like the easiest thing to do, and they're satisfying to break. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stop placing these down. I believe we will have to go from the top down on these. So I'll go ahead and yeah, I'll build this all the way up to the top, and then we can break them as we go. Now, I think actually for the robot to function, it does have to be linked to a chest. So we're going to have to, when we place it like this, I'm going to have to rotate it the right amount of times. So 1, 2, 3, I think on these ones. And we also do have to link it to the chest. So we've kind of got no options when it comes to linking it to the chest, but we may as well do it as we're going. So that's why this is going to take forever. Actually, I don't know. Can we maybe we can get away with placing them first and then linking them after. Yeah, I'll probably do that actually, because placing them is one challenge, linking them is the second. So I'm just going to go down, place them all, and then we'll link them all after. All right, I'm on to linking my final, I think 2 now, because the top one should be linked. This has been potentially the longest process of anything. Well, okay, not anything, but most things that I've done here on Skyblock. So, you know, I think what we're going to do is we're going to have this one side, which will be a full stack, actually over a full stack of mining robots, and then I'm going to do the other side off camera, because what I've also still got to do is go through every single one of these and upgrade them to level 5, which I obviously haven't done yet. So yeah, we've got to do some extra work there as well. So this will now be, or should be, the final link in all of them, and I think I might have rotated it one too many times, which is going to be a problem, because now I've got to try and get back into the freaking same robot to adjust it. They basically have an issue where if they're a little bit too close, then they're very hard to click into the right one. But yeah, either way, there we go. That is over a full stack. So that, I would say, is probably the biggest that you guys will ever going to see, is a full stack. Obviously, what we're going to do is we're just going to add another 47 to the other side. So it's not going to be massively different to how it is right now. But yes, what I do want to do I want to go into every single one of these and upgrade them to essentially the maximum that they can be. So that is going to require me to go through them all literally like this and upgrade it all the way to level 5. So again, that's going to be another little timing process that's going to take me a little while to do, but I think it'll be worth it. It's going to use a lot of gems, but my theory is that all of these are actually going to make me a lot of gems as well. So my theory is that what we're spending right now isn't really going to be anything in comparison to what we're going to be earning back from these things. Okay, supposedly all of these are now level 5. However, you guys may see that there is an absolute struggle to get into each one of these. So half of these probably aren't level 5 yet, because sometimes you just don't know which ones you're upgrading. So that's like the little complication that we have, is that to click into each one of these robots is sometimes more than a challenge. For example, that one you guys saw that I clicked into like 5 different places and still didn't manage to get it, but hopefully that one is now level 5. So we just kind of have to go up and look for the ones that are mining a lot slower than the rest, which should only theoretically be a few of them, because I did go all the way down the line and most of them look like they were successful. So yeah, we just kind of have to pay a little bit of attention. They should be mining a block every 2 hits, whereas you'll see that the slow ones that aren't quite there are definitely not mining that. So this guy right here, I think, is not level 5, or is he? No, he's definitely not level 5 right here. So we've got to fix him real quick. It's just, yeah, it's just a case of getting into it. Sometimes you get into it really easy, sometimes you don't. And sometimes it's very hard to tell whether you're actually in the robot settings or not that you're looking for. So yeah, you just kind of got to, you just got to try really hard to get in there sometimes. But that's okay. And hopefully we can get all of these upgraded so that they are all level 5. We've used a lot of gems already. I'm happy to use the gems because, like I explained a little bit earlier, the chances are we make our money back very, very quickly with this in regards to gems, because gems come very, very quickly from these robots. Even, well, probably not when they're level 1, but when they're level 5, you tend to get some pretty good gems pretty quickly. So that should be all of them upgraded now to level 5 confirmed, apart from this guy all the way at the top. Somehow we managed to miss him. There we go. Yeah, I guess it's just it's literally a case of this guy is just absolutely in the way. So yeah, we'll be able to get this one and then we are done. That should be every single one of those at level 5 now, because I believe they're all mining pretty quickly. So there we have it. That is that done. We officially have a row of over 64. I think it's 65 in this row of these friggin' mining robots. And as you guys can see, they're going to be making me some pretty good gems. Even just from when I've started all the way up to the top there, it's already made me 45 gems, which is insanely good. Because also, if you didn't know, when you collect gems, it collects them from all of the ones on the island. There we go. We're now back up to 319k in a matter of seconds. Not to mention, of course, the XP that they give you as well. That is going to be absolutely huge. So what I plan to do is, at the beginning of maybe the next video or whenever, I'm going to have tried to like AFK this for, I don't even know how long it would take to fill up this. I'm trying to work out how much gems they give you per block they mine. So let's just have a look. I don't know whether it's like literally 1 gem per block or what the deal is. I guess we can test it. I think it's 1 XP per block. Maybe it's just random, or maybe it's every 5 on the gems. Maybe every 4. So maybe every 2 blocks it goes ahead and gets it. And they're mining what, 1 block probably every second, I'd say. Maybe a little bit less than a second because of the respawn time. So I can imagine that we would be able to fill these up of gems pretty quickly. Yes, that is an absolute entire stack of mining robots right there. We could, of course, well, we'll be able to fill up the other side because I've got 47 here. And then, of course, we could just take some out of one of these sides because these are double-sided as well, as you guys can see. So yes, that is absolutely the biggest mining robot generator that you guys will have ever seen right there. It's definitely the biggest one I've ever built. So, you know, if you've only been watching here, that is definitely the biggest one you've seen. But I am intrigued to know, after like 24 hours, or even just after all of these are full, because what do we have? We have 64 of these. Well, 65, I guess. What is the math on that? 65 times 5,000, which is when the gems will be full up, would be 320. So we would get 325,000 gems just from this entire row right here, just from one row. And I believe no matter where I'm AFK on the island, those still mine, I'm pretty sure. Let's take a look by just kind of spying from over here. I'm pretty sure no matter where I am AFK on the island, even if I can't see the robots themselves, it tends to mine, I believe, even if I'm nowhere near it. So with that in mind, yeah, we can literally just stay AFK anywhere on my island right now, and that money would go up, and we would essentially become rich in gems in literally a day. Like, I would double my gem balance. I can't remember how long it's taken in the past, but I really don't think that these things take that long to fill up. Let's say every 2 blocks, right, is 1 gem. Let's say every 2 blocks takes 5 seconds. So let's, at that math, it takes 5 seconds to make 1 gem, which means it would be making 12 gems a minute, which is approximately 700 gems an hour, which means it would take about 7 hours of AFKing to get 5,000 gems per robot. And give or take a couple, maybe it's a little longer than what I predicted. Let's just say it takes 8 hours. That is still insane. We could AFK for 8 hours, double our gem balance. Of course, that's not even including the fact that we could have an extra side. So actually, let's consider the fact that we've got, I don't even know how many do we have here. I think these are 16 tall. So that means that we've already got a stack here as well. So we would have theoretically stack here. We've got a stack in just that one. We would have 3 stacks. So actually, we could be making nearly, what even is that? Nearly 1 million gems. 1 million gems every 8 hours, which is absolutely insane. 1 million gems every 8 hours is pretty much my prediction for what this would make us. Now, tell me any other way that you can make 1 million gems in 8 hours, because I think that the only possible other way would be grinding robot eggs, and we have nearly a stack of those to test the same theory out on. So we might make one more video before this server resets on grinding robots to compare the two. I will add a very similar grinder. Obviously, it'd have to be a little bit different because these wouldn't be as efficient in that method. But basically, I'll try and get a stack of these going and see what is going to be more efficient for us. I think it might be the grinding ones, but let me know what your guys' thoughts are down in the comment section. That is the little test and experiment for today. Like I said, the server is resetting this week, so expect a couple more crazy videos before it does reset. I believe the server shuts down on Thursday, so if you guys want to do any last things, store your GC, do whatever you want to do, make sure you do it before that time because the server will shut down. But guys, that is going to be it from me today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you do hit that like button for me. It really does mean a lot, and it helps the videos out a lot. Guys, that is going to be it from me today, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Skyblock here on AkumaMC.